Hey, it's Laird86 again. Sorry I haven't put up a video in a while. Been a little busy with all my work and stuff, but hey, I'm back. Uh, this one is gonna be about, well, it's kind of a memorial to a friend of mine who passed away, uh, about 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago. Um, and today would be his birthday. For that I say happy birthday, Hom Gar Wing, also known as Peter Hom. Uh, well, Pete, uh, this video is going out to you. A lot of people like to live within, the normal white picket fence sort of lifestyle, and I respect that. If that's what makes you happy, always do what makes you happy. But Pete, much like myself, he lived against the grain, and even though he lived against the grain, he partied his ass off and was just generally a little hellion. He was also probably one of the kindest and most compassionate human beings I have ever had the pleasure of meeting. And, you know, I'm I'm used to people passing. Even when he passed, I was very used to it. But when you see all the people who loved him in one room and how much he affected their lives at such a young age, I mean, he was 18 years old when he passed. That's when you know, no matter how you choose to live your life, if you are a person who exudes loving kindness, compassion, uh, altruism, and everything you did, it speaks volumes. And Pete was a guy who, if he had $3 to his name and you needed to grab something to eat because you were a little hungry, he'd gladly spend his $3 to buy you, a cheeseburger or whatever, rather than spend it on himself. Even when he had, practically nothing. And for that, I think he truthfully was one of the best men I've ever met. He had his flaws. There's no doubt about that. But we all have our flaws. Sometimes our flaws are what keeps the memory of us human, and not just some archetype of a legend. It's good to remember people as human beings rather than what they represented. My heart goes out to his family, my heart goes out to his friends, and my heart goes out to everyone who ever had any contact with him. Uh, it's been many years since he passed now, and I've gone through things. I mean, I did stuff on my own that I thought, honestly, he'd be the person to do these things with me. Hitchhiking back and forth across the country for 3 years. Over. he was the only person I knew who would have been right up for it. I mean, others came along, but when I think about who he was, he he would have been my first choice to have as a road dog. Someone honest and loyal and truthfully willing to do whatever he can for the people he cares about. And as these years have passed, I've watched others pass, and yeah, everybody's sad, but when it came to Pete, people remembered him most for the positive things he did. And I guess in a way, that's something we all fear, that we'll only be remembered for our sins and for the things we've done to harm other people. It's much like in Julius Caesar. The evil men do oft lives after them, but the good is oft interred with their bones. I've done a lot of terrible things in my time. I'm sure we all have, but I can really only speak through my own subjective experience. I've done terrible things I'm not proud of. But working past that, working through that, overcoming that, that's what I hope when it comes to be my time, and when it comes to be anyone's time. I really hope that's what they're remembered for. I really hope they've quote-unquote balanced their scales karmically. But sometimes I do get down on myself, and I think a lot of people do, because perception is 90% of what people consider their truth. And at 26 years old, I'm still fighting an image I helped build up from the time I was 11, and I held on to until I was probably 22, 23 years old. So I have a long road ahead of me, and I'm hoping to use my friend Pete, and I have been using my friend Pete. I feel like I carry a little bit of his spark in me, and I'm sure all of his loved ones do, who are living righteously now. I'm hoping that one day I'll balance my own scales, and I think he'd be proud of me and proud of those he cared about, who took the high road. And this video is for him. I want everyone to know and remember the man and the archetype of one of the kindest human beings I ever met, Peter Wayne Hom Gar Wing. This is the end of the video, and all I can say is we love you, and we miss the physical presence of you, but we know you're never going to be gone. Not truly. And for that, I'm sure we all thank you. Be blessed, my friends, and be blessed, my listeners. You can comment and send questions in, and I'll gladly answer them. Have a wonderful day.